What's up, y'all? It's your girl Carmen, and welcome back to the Savvy System Sister podcast. Again, I'm your girl Carmen, your Savvy System Sister, and today we are talking about your funnel. We started talking about the funnel before we broke down each of the different piece parts that go into the funnel, and today we're really going to dive into that first section. So if you are ready, give me a ready in the chat, even though there's you can put it down below. Let's dive in. So let's do a quick review, okay? So when it comes to your content funnel, the very first, or just your funnel in general, because we're talking overarching theme of the funnel. The first thing that goes into that funnel is going to be your content flow. Y'all, I got lines today because last time, content flow, or your visibility flow is what I think I called it in the last video. That is just the way in which people see you. Listen, your message is not flawed. People just haven't heard it yet. And so we need a workflow or a system that's going to help us so that people can see you. Because, baby, you got to be seen. All right, the next part of that of your funnel is going to be the connection flow. Connection flow is how you connect and nurture your audience outside of YouTube, outside of all of those different platforms, your social media. So this is where we want to get them on our email list. Once we have connected our folks, now we want to convert them. So you need a conversion flow. How are you going to convert people and not just with them just paying you with their time or their email address? We want them to start paying us with our with those coins, right? Because I mean, that's why we in a business, right? I'm just saying. And after that is going to be your client flow. So that is your onboarding, your offboarding, and exactly how it is that you are going to retain all of these people, and so that they don't just stay clients for 2 days or through one iteration of your program, but so that they can stay clients of yours on a continuous basis. So today, I told you that's kind of like an overview of what we did before. So today, we're really going to dive into just this content flow. We are talking all things content and creating a workflow so that your content can flow. And so that it becomes easier for you to be seen and to be visible so that people aren't out here wondering what it is that you do. You're confident in sharing what you do, and they can confidently say, oh, I follow Carmen for this reason, or I love her content because. So let's talk about content flow. Let's get a new page. All right. Our content flow, again, this is our visibility strategy. I think in the last video, y'all, my handwriting was a little messy, so I'm gonna be a little bit neater today. This is our visibility strategy. How are people going to see you? Now, you need a couple of subsystems within your content flow. So, how are you going to come up with the content ideas? Where are you going to post to? How often are you going to post your content? These are all questions that you need to ask in order for you to be more visible and to create a system around that visibility. So let's think about this thing. Number one, how often are you going to post? You want clarity around how often you are going to post. Are you going to post once a week? Are you going to post 3 times a week? Are you going to post 5 times a week? You set the bare minimum for you, and you set the bare minimum for what you have capacity for. This is your business. So you can't let anybody dictate or putting your eyes on somebody else's paper. Like I like use the analogy from with kids, as we're working with kids and standardized testing, or they trying to look at their neighbor paper to see what they. You got to keep your eyes on your own paper. You can't worry about how often somebody else is posting, because their life ain't your life. You can't decide, oh well, she posting 5 times a week, so I gotta post 6. No, honey, you post when it is convenient for you, but make it consistent. Number 2, where are you gonna post? I also want you to think about where exactly is it you're putting your content. Are you putting it on YouTube? Are you putting it on TikTok? Are you putting it on Instagram? Are you putting it on Facebook? Are you putting it on Substack? Where is your ideal client most likely to hang out? And if you do not know the answer to that, then I need you to go ask them. So when I start talking about market research, some people look at me sideways, but I can't tell you how much market research has changed my business, because then I really get to understand what it is that my people want, what it is that my people need, and again, where is it that your people are posting? You want to make sure, again, that you're putting your content there. So I personally have a YouTube, I have a podcast, I have a Instagram, even though I don't hang over there that often. I am on Substack, just building a community over there. So there are different places where you can post your content. You have to decide, again, where your people are hanging out. And if you don't know the answer to that, then I need you, is as uncomfortable as it is, I need you to go through the market research to figure it out. Okay? So you figured out how often you're going to post, you figured out where you're going to post. The next thing to ask yourself is, what are you going to post? Okay? And really, the what that you're going to post goes back to your market research. So you want to listen to the pain points, and you want to listen to everything that your ideal client is saying that they want. And what is it that they're saying that they need? If they're saying that they want to learn best practices for mathematics, then your content should be about best practices for mathematics. Maybe your ideal client is school leaders, and they're struggling with giving proper feedback, or feedback that's going to move the needle forward in their school. So maybe you're creating content around exactly how or what and why they need to do in order to create content. And you can give away the how to without giving away too much so that they don't need your services. The next thing that I want you to think about, so you thought about how often, you thought about where, you thought about what, and last thing I want you to think about is how you're going to post. And when I say how you're going to post, I'm really talking about the scheduling aspect. Are you posting one time a day and creating that content on demand? Or are you creating your content in advance and then using an app to schedule your content so that it can go out automatically? Personally, I'm gonna recommend that you create your content in advance and then schedule it out. So as you are living your best life, or you are doing your schoolwork, or you are doing all the different things that you know you have to do, your content is still going out and you don't have to worry about posting it. So let's talk about exactly how we're going to create the content now that we've thought about how often we're going to post, where we're going to post it, what we're going to post, and how we're going to post it, talking about scheduling. Hey girl, hey, we interrupt your video for just a second for a special announcement. If you're watching this video, chances are you've been looking for some type of clarity, and clarity has come to you. I help educators turn entrepreneurs stop duct taping the back end of their business so that they can experience more freedom and more joy, letting go of the overwhelm that comes with burnout and the overwhelm that comes from technology. All you need is a little bit of clarity, and that clarity is going to come in less than 2 minutes. All I need you to do is click the link in my bio or the show notes or the description box wherever you are watching and take the Savvy Systems Clarity Quiz. This quiz is going to show you exactly where you are right now in your systems journey, because listen, there's levels to this. And it's going to show you your exact next steps, what it is that you need to focus on so that you can keep things moving in your life and in your business. Can't wait for you to take the quiz and let me know what you think. All right, now back to the video. So when it comes to content, I really want you to think about starting with a piece of long form content. So what is your long form content? And what is your long form content platform? What are some examples of long form content? Well, let's change the color because that's fun. Long form content can be YouTube. It could be a blog. It could be a podcast. When we're thinking about long form content, you can have a YouTube, a blog, a podcast. All of those are long form content. Your YouTube video is longer than a reel, obviously. Your blog is going to also be something that people can sit and read and digest. Your podcast, people can listen to on the go, again, longer than a reel, and they have the opportunity to really listen to and engage with what it is that you're saying. So now that you got your long form content out the way, honey, this is the easy part. So you can turn your long form content, no matter whether you come from YouTube, a blog, or a podcast, into different pieces of content. So what do you mean, Carmen? So that YouTube video that you created, or the blog, or the podcast episode that you did, they can all now become your newsletter. Once they have become your newsletter, you can also take those pieces of content, that YouTube video, you can use a app like Opus Clip, or I use vidIQ. So you can, and they have a clipping tool within that. Or there's also one in Riverside, the podcasting app. All of those platforms have clipping that you can clip your pieces, your videos, your long form videos down. So now that I have the long form content, I can make it into a newsletter. And once I've made it to my newsletter, this is going to my email list. And guess what I'm doing with it? I'm putting a link to that long form content. I'm putting a link to that long form content in that email that's going out to my email list, that's going to nurture them with the words that I say, but it's also going to nurture them because I'm putting the links. So now they've engaged with me here in this newsletter, and I'm going to send them to that YouTube video to get my engagement up over there. Or I'm going to send them to that blog post because I want them to really engage with the words that I'm writing. Or I'm going to send them to that podcast so that while they're walking their dog or they're riding on the way to work, they can hear the words that I have to say. So once I've sent that to my email list, then I can send it out to my different content platforms, wherever it is that you do your posting. This long form piece of content can easily become 3 to 5 reels. Depending on how long your video is, now you've got some reels. You can also turn that in to, and when I say reels, I'm talking about Facebook, I'm talking about Instagram. You can also post those same reels to YouTube Shorts, and you can put them on TikTok. Boom. So now you have posted to multiple platforms based off of one long form content, or one piece of long form content. So the next thing you want to think about is, Where else can I put this? Well, all of your captions that you write with these, uh, from these, all of the captions that you write from these videos, you can break those captions down, or you can post them as is. They can go to X if that's a platform that you post on. It's not one of my preferred, but it can be if that's your thing. It can go down as a Substack note, or you can post it on Threads. This newsletter can also go to Threads in bits and pieces. It can also go to Substack. It can also go to LinkedIn as an article. So, so you have so many options of places that you can put your content once you've created that long form content. And it's so easy. There are so many apps out there where you can just go in and schedule them. So let's talk a little bit about scheduling our content, and then we're going to wrap this video up. Okay. All right. So once you have a system for creating content, you have an idea of what you are posting, again, starting with your long form content so that you can break it all down and make it easier, and you have more places to post so that you can start to cross post. You want to think about some places where you can schedule your content, because listen, I have tried the posting on demand thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not real fun because life gets busy and we all have things to do, and so I cannot be on a date with the man that God is going to send me trying to post to my Instagram, because that's rude. So I want you to think about where your content needs to go and which apps are you going to use to schedule it. So my personal favorites, I have two. Okay, two. Metricool is my number one favorite. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the Metricool has so many analytics. It's crazy. They have so many analytics, and yes, it is free. You get to post up to 50 times a month on their free plan. That's the free plan. I'm gonna say it again. The free 99. Okay, because we are running these businesses, but we also got to stick to the budget. Okay, and I don't want you pulling out of your personal account to pay Metricool. Okay, that's coming out the operations budget, but that's a system for another day. So Metricool has it so that you can upload that one post and choose your different locations of where you want to send it to. It also has some killer analytics. So as you are looking at all the places where you post your content, you can see the different places and how everything is performing in one app, which I think is so cool. Because again, I'm a numbers girl and I love, so give me numbers any day, any day. So that's Metricool. The other one that I personally use beside Metricool, depends on the day and how I'm feeling, is Planoly. Planoly also does the same thing, well, very similar things. The analytics aren't as cool. The user interface, though, is beautiful. So I highly recommend that you check out that one. There are some other platforms out there too. If that's what you are looking for, you're looking for a scheduling app, I definitely recommend trying Metricool. I definitely recommend trying Planoly. And if you have another one, drop it in the comment section below so that we can go check it out too. Because listen, your girl will go down a technology rabbit hole in a heartbeat. So this, you guys, is our content flow, our visibility flow, so that we can really stay connected and that we can be visible. Again, our messages and flow is just that no one's heard it yet. And girl, I want people to hear your message because I know that it is a great one and you have things to share. So get out there and get visible. So in our next video, we are going to dive into the very next part of this framework. So we've talked about content flow, and our next, we'll be talking about connection flow so that we can really connect with our audience and nurture our audience, not just on social media, but let's get them off social media and get them to buy into what you're saying and buy into you and your network and your community by sharing their email list. So I hope this video was helpful. If there's something that you want to see, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below, and I got you. I will see you next time.